It rained all last night, and the prediction for today is overcast, cloudy, misty, rain all day long. It's not a heavy downpour by any means, but it is misting. If it would be a downpour, it's very, very challenging for us to get the bears out. The only one that will tolerate downpours is Ted. And I want to introduce Ted right here. He is right front center. And for those of you that have never seen Ted, he's our 17-year-old male, and he's the largest of all the four bears here. And he will actually tolerate the rain. On my far right, we have Honey Bear. Yes, she is brown. She's actually technically a cinnamon phase black bear. People say, well, then she must be a brown bear. She's not a brown bear. She's a cinnamon phase black bear. And it has been estimated that only about 5% of the bears in the state of Minnesota are that color. She's on the darker side of a cinnamon phase black bear. And whether you know it or not, black bears come in more than the color black. We have a kiosk in our exhibit hall that talks about the color variations in a black bear. So when you think about a black bear, don't just think about the color black. She is 18 years old. Both Honey and Ted were both born on a game farm, and they have never known the likes of having to live in the wild. But they are fabulous ambassadors here for us at the North American Bear Center. And we have a staff member that those of you who are on the deck, can you see the staff member that went into the woods? Okay, I think she's got a brown jacket on, right? Right, okay. Does she have, oh, she's got her, sweatshirt on. Does she have a bear with her? Okay, PTZ driver, I'm talking to the worldwide folks. PTZ driver volunteer, please focus the PTZ camera on Heidi. She is opposite the building, opposite the falls, where you have found Holly Bear in the past. And I'm looking at the people on the deck. Is the bear on the ground or in a tree? Holly Bear is on the ground. Now in a tree. And PTZ driver, stay focused in the Heidi area. Heidi has a bucket. She's got some red grapes and I believe some other treats for Holly. And you say, well, why isn't Holly just coming down here like all the other bears? Holly is our newest addition. There she is. PTZ driver. She's really cute. For those of you at the North American Bear Center, as well as for those of you worldwide, I'm going to start to talk more quiet. Holly has ventured out from the forest. She stood up on her hind legs. I know she saw me, but she's unsure of my voice, and she's also unsure if there are bears out. So I want to give you information about Holly Bear, but I also want her to come out. Her first excursion into the 2.5 acres was on May 30th. Holly is an 18-month-old yearling. She's an orphan wild cub, now a yearling. She has to learn her way around the 2.5 acres, and she has to learn how to integrate herself with 3 big bears. In the wild, a yearling would typically be treed in the wild by bigger bears, and yearlings many times spend much of the year, their first year alone, in trees. Just a few minutes ago when you did see her, she was standing on her hind legs, and she was panning the area. I know she saw me. I looked right at her. She saw me. I believe she also saw Ted. I am unclear whether she would have seen Honey or not, but she's scouting the area. And why does she hover by the tree line? She hovers by the tree line because trees are the one and only and major refuge for a small bear when she's concerned about confronting a larger bear. They are exceptional tree climbers. When mother bears have cubs and they come out of the den in late March, April, sometimes as late as early May, in most cases up here, over 90% of the time, a mother black bear will take her cubs to the base of a white pine. Why a white pine? A white pine because a white pine has bark that doesn't come off very easy. It's curved very nicely, and it actually fits the claws and paws of a little cub, and they can scamper up it very quickly. I'm going to talk to the people on the deck here. Do you see the bear? Do you see little Holly? Okay. PTZ driver, Holly bear, is near Heidi. Heidi again, I can actually see her. I can see Holly. Holly is actually holding on to Heidi's hand, eating, and at the same time her eyes and ears are working hard. She's not sure if her human mother, Heidi, is enough protection for her against Ted, who's on the scale. She also, meaning that I'm speaking in a microphone, has no idea where I am or why my voice is so loud. Our goal here by working with Holly and spending so much time with Holly is to build her confidence that she can live in a 2.5 acre enclosure safely with 3 larger bears. It also changes the entire dynamics of the 2.5 acres here at the Bear Center. We had Ted, Honey, and Lucky, and now we have Ted, Lucky, Honey, and little Holly. I can kind of relate it to a family who maybe has a mother and a father and 3 children, and all of a sudden there's a 4th child that comes along. That 4th child, believe it or not, changes the entire family dynamics. Well, that's what's happening here in the 2.5 acres. In the process of her learning that she can live with these 3 big bears and be just fine, we have to do it on Holly's terms and at the speed she's willing to work with us. Ted has now stepped off the scale. The goal about the scale was not necessarily today were we weighing him, we were just occupying him. So Holly realizes that he's not a threat, even though in her mind, in the wild, she would expect him to chase her away. She doesn't know Ted is just very social and really would be harmless to her. That goes against her wild instincts, and it's a learned behavior she's going to have to learn. PTZ driver, Holly is toward the swing. Actually, the second waterfalls. Heidi is laying a trail of little treats. And for those of you on the deck, I want to thank you for being so very quiet. Holly will go back into the woods when she hears a big truck on Highway 169. The other day we had a couple motorcycles drive in to the parking lot, and the motorcycles were a little loud, and she went right into the woods. That's what her ears told her, and that's what she did. She went to a tree and climbed a tree The sound of a motorcycle isn't something she knows or has learned to ignore. PTZ driver, she's climbing a tree straight out from the Bear Center. Holly is aware that her mother has moved away. Heidi is further away. And what's happened is Heidi is pulling away from her little Holly, and Holly knows it. I saw Holly look exactly right where Heidi went. Heidi walked right in front of me, and Holly knows it. I want to thank you all for coming here to the North American Bear Center today. And for our worldwide visitors, Holly is back on the tree line again. Is she in a tree? I'm talking to the people on the deck. Is she on a tree? Is she on the ground? Tree? Holly has gone in a tree. Holly has determined she didn't want to venture out without her human mother, and that's okay. That's just okay. For those of you here at the North American Bear Center, if you want to stay up on the deck, you certainly can. As I stop talking and end this broadcast, she may come out again. She may not. I really don't know. But the fact that we got her out from the tree line, even in the mist, means to me that she's okay with at least a pretty good mist here at the North American Bear Center and still willing to come out for treats when she has one of her mothers around. We'll be glad to answer questions when I come into the exhibit hall about what we've been doing and how we're trying to integrate Holly into the North American Bear Center. We can talk about other things as well. There's also some 60 videos in the Bear Center, plus 2 BBC documentaries done in 2010 and 2012 that are each 1 hour in length without commercial interruption, and I would venture to say on a rainy day it's a nice place to be. Again, I would remind you that your admission is a day pass today, and our next Bear Enrichment is at 1 o'clock, and again at 4 o'clock this afternoon. The 1 o'clock will not be broadcast worldwide, but the 4 o'clock will. Thank you to you worldwide volunteers and moderators that helped and assisted me today at our 11 o'clock misty, rainy 11 o'clock Bear Enrichment. Thank you very much.